For 3 hours, an unnatural darkness had covered the land. The air felt heavy, charged, as if creation itself was holding its breath. At Golgotha, Jesus breathed his last, crying out with a voice that split the silence. At that exact moment, the world changed. The earthquake that opened the graves. The ground convulsed violently. Stones cracked. Buildings swayed. The massive curtain in the temple, 60 feet high and impossibly thick, tore from top to bottom. But something else happened. A secret miracle. Tombs outside the city split open. These were the resting places of the righteous men and women who had lived faithfully, waiting for God's redemption. Their graves were suddenly exposed, the stone slabs broken apart by the quake. But they did not rise yet. They waited.
Brave.
3 days later, when Jesus rose from the dead, something extraordinary occurred. Many holy people who had died were raised to life. These were not ghosts or visions. They were real people, saints, of old, brought back by the same resurrection power that raised Jesus. Their bodies were transformed, restored, made alive again. After Jesus' resurrection, these resurrected saints left their tombs and walked into Jerusalem. Imagine the scene. Families preparing for Passover suddenly see a long-dead relative standing at the door. Priests in the temple hear rumors of ancient prophets walking the streets. Citizens whisper in shock as familiar faces gone for years. Alive and radiant, they appeared to many, Matthew says. This was not a private miracle. It was public, undeniable, and unforgettable. Jerusalem was already shaken by the crucifixion. Now it was stunned by resurrection. This miracle was not random. It was a divine message with deep meaning. 1. Jesus' death broke the power of death. The graves opened at his death. The saints rose at his resurrection. Death itself was losing its grip. 2. Jesus is the first fruits of resurrection. These saints were a preview, a sign of what Jesus would accomplish for all who believe. 3. God was declaring that a new age had begun. The old era of waiting was over. The Messiah had come. Redemption was here. 4. It validated Jesus' identity. Even the dead testified that he was the Son of God. Who were these saints? Matthew does not name them, but early Christian tradition suggests they may have included Old Testament prophets, righteous priests, faithful men and women known for holiness. Whoever they were, their appearance was unmistakable. They were recognized. They were witnesses. What happened to them afterward? Scripture does not say, but most scholars believe they did not return to normal life. They were raised in glorified bodies. They likely ascended after Jesus as part of his victory procession. Their resurrection was not temporary, it was a sign of the world to come. This event would have electrified the city. Priests who had opposed Jesus now faced resurrected saints. Citizens who doubted him now saw living proof. The early church gained powerful witnesses. The resurrection of these saints was a shockwave that rippled through Jerusalem, preparing hearts for the message the apostles would soon preach. This story reveals profound truths. Jesus' death is not defeat, it is victory. The grave is not the end for God's people. Resurrection is not just Jesus' story, it is ours. God's power reaches into the past, present, and future. The moment Jesus died, the world of the dead began to give way to the world of the living.